Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Thursday, December the 1st. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Trading routine with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. It's the first day of the month, so let's just remind ourselves, make it part of our routine to always consider our risk management, the amount we are willing to lose on any one particular trade. Let's make sure we don't go past that. So we have to take into consideration the position size and our stop loss. All part of risk management. So, trading routine. Walmal, I'll let you go first. What's your trading routine? I guess like before you start trading, while you're trading, and then after you're done trading. What's your routine?
Well, I'm going to go in actually, before I start that, you just said something that intrigued me a little bit, and I want to talk about that for a second. And, for the most part, I think I am anyway, a pretty compassionate person, pretty nice person. At least I hope so. But I'm going to tell you something, and that is, as traders, that goes out the window. Okay, and you just talked about putting your stop loss in place, putting maybe TPs in place if that's part of your strategy. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is harsh, but if you're not doing that, if you're not putting things in there to protect yourself, you're a dang old fool. No other way to put it. So let me just go and reiterate what you said, just the importance of what you said, because it is just so important. But getting on to the topic of this video, routine. For me, I think routine is one of the most important things for trading. And the reason why is, there's that old adage, and I know you say it, TRO, a lot of times, but once you figure out something that's working, what do? You wash, you rinse, you repeat. And that's what you got to do. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Over and over and over again. In education, what you tell you the biggest rule for teaching somebody some type of concept or new concept is that you have them write it, you have them read it, and you have them repeat it, and you do that over and over and over again until they finally understand it. And the funny thing is, a lot of times you may be saying the exact same thing to your student over and over and over again, and finally on the third time some light bulb just goes off. Oh, I get that. And then you talk to them maybe a month later or something like that, and it's like, remember when you were learning that? And they would go and say, I don't know why I didn't get that the first time. It's so simple. Well, I think there's an element of trading involved there as well. And that element is you need to have routine. At least for me anyway, that's, you had said earlier in the week, Tiro, that I had screwed up and messed up pretty bad, and you said your person is usually pretty disciplined. Why did you do that? Well, I broke my discipline, and my discipline comes from following routine. So every day I do the exact same thing. I do the exact same thing. I get up, at 6 a.m. When I get up at 6 a.m., I get up, I go into the shower, take a shower, I get out of the shower, brush my teeth, I go and take some medication that the doctor is having me on. I go and take care of some personal business that all of us got to go and take care of. I then go and make myself a cup of coffee. I look out on the website, see if there's any catastrophic news in the world. I sit down at my computer, and then I start looking at charts. And then the routine starts with a trading bar, and that is that I sit down, I look where price is, I look where price was, where it traveled overnight since the last time I went and looked at the charts. I look for, I like to look at, the last 5 days. I know at TRO we had talked about, looking at weekly charts and such. I don't really look at that. I look at what's happened in the last 5 days. That gives me a better idea with my strategy, gives me a better idea where price is and where it's been and where it may possibly go. I look at that. I then look at the hourly chart. How has price been moving in the hourly? How's the price moving in the 30-minute chart? Then I go down and look at the 5-minute chart and see if I see anything there. Just, again, getting my head acclimated to what's going on in the market right now. I then finally open up the 1-minute chart because I mostly trade off the 1-minute chart. And and that's part of my routine every single day. I don't get anything to eat in the morning. I'm a person who likes to fast, so I don't eat in the morning. I don't have my first meal until probably 2:00 in the afternoon. That's just part of my routine again every day. I do the same thing. Then I finally sit down. By that point in time, it's usually about 6:50, 6:55 in the morning, and I'm actually ready to actually go and start trading. And that's usually my routine for getting ready to trade. What's nice about that is that I actually see by going flipping through those charts, I'm gonna have to say, I'm probably spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes watching the charts, and I'm able to go and see how the price is moving. Is it doing crazy stuff? Is it moving erratically? Is it moving the way it normally does? I know what the range for the day has been. I know what the ranges for the hours have been. So I've got all that stuff in the back of my head. I'm a tactile learner, so I write those things down. Even though I got a chart, that's got nothing but all the smart ranges for every single, time frame, and it's up on one of my charts. But I write them down on a piece of paper in front of me. And it becomes part of learning it and having that ingrained into my brain to a certain extent, and it helps me out. So that's how I start my day. That's how I get into my routine. It just helps me out. Now, my routine over time has been refined and it's changed. In the beginning, I probably, in the very, very beginning when I was first learning the trades willy-nilly, I'd sit down, look at the charts. Oh, look at that. There's my setup. Meanwhile, I haven't looked at anything else. I don't know what it's been doing. I don't know how the market's been moving. I may not have even known what the spread was at the moment in time I'm entering a trade, and I jump into a trade and get annihilated. Just wipe me off the face of the map. And just why? Because I wasn't prepared to go and actually start the trade. Mm-hmm. So then I learned from that, and I went the other direction, and I would sit down and maybe spend 2 hours just in front of the charts, looking at the charts, watching the charts, not making a single trade for the first 2 hours. Then I cut it down for an hour because I think that 2 hours was probably too much time. And I think that I would recommend that for especially new traders or traders who are having trouble, especially in the beginning part of the day. Take the first hour, do nothing more than just watch how price is moving, and you're going to say, well, I'm going to miss all the trades. Yeah. Well, not only will you miss some winning trades, but you'll miss some losing trades too. And so if that's what it takes to get you into the swing of the day, that's what it takes to get into the swing of the day. And I promise you, if you do that for a while, what will happen is you'll be able to cut it down to, like I said before, 10, 15 minutes. I'm able to go and get that all under my belt in 10 to 15 minutes. It may take a little bit of time to get it there, but you'll get there. And that's the reason why I do it that way.
Right. And so that's your morning before, that's during, and what do you do after the trading day is over?
What I do is after the trading day is over or during trading?
After. You already talked about what you said your routine during trading was.
Okay. I talked about that too much, but let me talk about add a little bit maybe to trading while trading. While I'm actually trading, I'm just constantly looking at the 1 minute chart and looking for opportunities. I love having your price near indicator, and was that a donational or is that
that's a donational? Yeah.
Okay, I mean that there are a couple of your donational ones that are just, they're just so incredibly important to me. But that one is just so important because I spent all the time in it preparing for the day to get ready to trade. And what's nice about that indicator is it throws the lines up on the screen when I get close. I think I would set that when it gets within 10 pips, I have it throw it up on the screen. And what's nice about that is that, hey, that's the daily high from yesterday, and and it pops up on the screen when it's important. So my screens don't look like charts on drugs because it doesn't have things that just don't matter up there. It only has the things that are like where I'm at. and because I'm not looking to get 20 or 30 pips. I'm only looking to get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pips. I think I had one trade today where I got 10 pips, so that was, just because the market just kept on moving in my direction. But the thing what's nice about it is it pops those lines onto the chart, and as you're getting close to things, you're ready for them, and you can take advantage of it. So I'm just constantly looking at that 1 minute chart, looking at the 5 minute chart, looking at the M30, looking at the 1 hour, and just assessing constantly over and over and over again what's actually going on, making decisions based on my strategy, my method, whether or not I should be getting into a trade, getting out of a trade, or just sitting on my hands. And so that's kind of that part of the routine. Then after the day is over, what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll look. And I look at, generally during the day, if I make a mistake, I make an asterisk on my on a notepad that I have sitting next to me, and I write down the time, and I put down an asterisk. I just write down the time and an asterisk next to it. And the whole point of that is that at the end of the day, I need to go back and look at that and see what I was doing at the time, and why I would have, go back and look at the chart and try to figure out why I would have gone into that particular trade, or why didn't I exit the trade, or why didn't I let the trade, continue to run, and I'll go and write that all down, write down at just that time, so at the end of the day, I can just go through and analyze what I did right and what I did wrong. That's one of the things I'll do. There's no particular order that I do this in. The second thing I do is I take all of my trades and I put them into, I'm old school, so I take them all and I dump them all into it. You're going to laugh at me, TRO, but I actually still have VisiCalc running on my machine. Not even Excel. Show you how old school I am. But I dump them all into VisiCalc, and that way I've got at the end of the week, I've got all my numbers right there in front of me. And yes, I know I can use the trade report, but as you know, Tiro, because I use different brokers, it allows me to go and add them all together. I can see where I'm at. Every day I look and see where am I at for the week. Am I on target for the week? Am I ahead of target? Am I behind? And that's part of my routine, because then at the end of the week on Friday, my routine is then to go through the entire week. So every Friday afternoon, I sit down and I go back and revisit all my asterisk trades, to go remind myself of what, I could have done better. And then in addition to that, reassess where I'm at. Is it time for me to go and make a change in terms of the number of pips I'm looking for on a particular trade or for a particular type of method? I just do that very, very quick, type of thing. I'm talking about, when I say quick, start to finish, maybe 35, 40 minutes. That's all it takes on a Friday.
Right.
So that's generally speaking my routine. And then, yesterday afternoon was the end of the month. And so I did the exact same thing, because I look at it from the end of the month, percentage where I'm at. And that, the good thing about, when you're making money trading is that you're making money. The bad thing about it is you got this guy called Uncle Sam here in the United States that you got to go and write a check to. So, yes, I can do this quarterly, but I like to do it monthly, so I write a check every month. That way I don't get a big surprise with lots of penalties at the end of the year.
Right.
So I write the check. So last night I had to go and write a check to my favorite uncle.
Okay, fellow traders, the fastest 15 minutes is trading is up. So you heard Walmal routine, so probably next week I'll have to go through my routine because tomorrow's Friday, so we'll be doing the weekly wrap up, and I'll probably have to do a monthly open video too.
It's also NFP tomorrow.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's going to be fun. So, fellow traders, what is your routine? Maybe you could pop it down in the comments. And always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.